Overwatch 2 is cooked, and that seems to be the line that I read about every single place I go. And it's not without some merit. I think that Marvel Rivals release, if you haven't heard of that game, has been more explosive, more competitive within the Overwatch community than probably any other game. Fortnite, Apex Legends, Valorant, I remember those times, but honestly, despite the fact that those games have guns and a couple of abilities, they just aren't Overwatch. It's not a hero, it's not a team-based shooter, and it's not even close. And ultimately, while they did steal players in their own rights and for different reasons, despite Overwatch's incompetence, I think that Overwatch has managed to do just fine. But Marvel Rivals is a team shooter, and is a hero shooter, and it's loud, and it's proud, and it tickles a lot of the same things. It hits on a lot of the same high points that Overwatch is supposed to hit on. And so it's more likely to compete within that genre. Not to mention that regardless of genre, I think Marvel Rivals is pulling players from literally every genre of gaming right now. It's just a big game period right now. So even if you're in something that's not adjacent to Marvel Rivals, you're going to be sweating a little bit with what that game has to offer. Now, a lot of it is early and new hype. I think a lot of people, as always, are just pretending that it's the best thing ever and it's going to be killing every game and it's the greatest thing of all time. As always, there's a lot of emotional response. You need to give it some time. It will die off a little bit, but I do think that it has more staying power than most games simply because it isn't just Overwatch. It's Overwatch, but different. And a lot of ways, I won't go down those today, but it's not trying to be Overwatch. It just happens to be in the same genre as Overwatch. It has extremely active content schedule and a really strong IP to back it up. And I think with those three things alone, even if it screws up balance and hero design and map design, it doesn't matter. It's going to be just fine because of the breadth of how many things that it does uniquely and does relatively well. And the key thing for me, and this is going to be the theme of this video today, is I love Overwatch. And I really enjoyed Marvel Rivals. And I think it would be in everyone's best interests to just ask yourself whether you like the game, and that to be the only question that you ask yourself. And then based off of the answer, you delegate your time accordingly. I think a lot of people out here are debating about the merits of Overwatch right now. I love Overwatch. I think Overwatch in 2024 has done a phenomenal job. I think a lot of people that are negative about Overwatch, and deservedly so, mad at Activision Blizzard, mad at monetization, mad at Battle Pass stuff, mad at cosmetics, mad obviously at PvE and the broken promises with all that. A lot of it is just not relevant nowadays. It's something that can build a deserved bitterness versus Activision Blizzard and their product, and you're more than welcome to do so. But pretending that other gaming companies, NetEase especially, isn't guilty of the same thing, really you just need to compare where the games are at right now. Do you enjoy Overwatch now? Do you enjoy Marvel Rivals now? And if the answer is yes, play the game. I even see a lot of negativity about Marvel Rivals that isn't deserved because people are just so eager to hate on the game to be counterculture when it's just not necessary. Don't let other people dictate what you enjoy and what you can and can't enjoy. I know a lot of people aren't going to enjoy Overwatch, and I know a lot of people aren't going to enjoy Marvel Rivals, but I personally enjoy both games, and this is kind of why I'm making this video, is to tell you that moving forward, I'm planning on doing at least a little bit of Marvel Rivals content. Right now, I'm personally pretty excited about talking about what things that the game does uniquely and does uniquely well, and some things that I think the game could do better. Not because it's different than Overwatch, but because I think within its own niche of being a very loud, proud, silly hero shooter, something that's a lot more loud, just crazier, a lot of more high highs and low lows, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned that just aren't relevant to Overwatch at all. And a lot of things that Overwatch is going to do well or needs to do better aren't really because I see them in Marvel Rivals. There's a couple of things, but a lot of it is just talk about the game in its own vacuum. And don't worry about what the community's perception of either game has to do with what the game, because the thing, inevitably, what's going to happen is NetEase is going to make a mistake, or the beer goggles for people on Marvel Rivals is going to come off, and people are going to be overly negative. And now, instead of Marvel Rivals doing well because it killed Overwatch, and that's the content plan, the new content plan, well, Marvel Rivals fell off hard. In reality, it's just the same game, maybe slightly worse. Maybe there's some decision, but honestly, the game right now is an unbalanced mess, right? But people still have fun playing it. So my point being is this. I challenge every single one of you guys, whether it's Marvel Rivals, whether it's Overwatch, or whether it's both, to just play the game. Play what you enjoy. If you enjoy the game, play it, because it's important for you to not let other people ruin things for you. And honestly, and I'm a little bit of a personal moment, that's been a real challenge for me recently, and I think it's the reason why I'm making this video, because I have had so much negativity in my timeline, in my YouTube comments, my Twitter. I've received more death threats in the last month, among some other things, which I won't even repeat, since doing Marvel Rivals content. And it's not Marvel fanboys. I don't even know if initially I thought maybe it's just more a casual community. Maybe this is just how like gamers are outside of the sheltered, nice little Overwatch community. But I don't think that's the case either. I think what happens is that you have people that are honestly, I hate to use this term, but radicalized by the Overwatch hatred, right? The deserved hatred of Activision Blizzard, but then everything associated with Overwatch, even in 2025, is automatically evil and satanic and wrong and brain dead and brain damage, and they're going to ruin your game. And so everything is super aggressive and apprehensive. I see similar to a lesser extent apprehensiveness from the Overwatch community versus all things Marvel Rivals. Oh, it's a dumb game, 5,000 mortalities. It's terrible, terrible bounce, not fun at all. It's goofy, corny, third person, NetEase, haha, China, haha, you know. And the reality is just like so much of that tribalism, radicalization from it's so hard and painful. When in reality, it's just like you're comparing apples and oranges, man. They're both fruits, but they're just different. They're just different. And I think we should be comparing them where it's relevant, but not be comparing them when it's not relevant. And more important than that, it's the spirit with which you're comparing them. A lot of people like to hate on Marvel Rivals just because it's counterculture and those darn kids, you know, get off my lawn. And Marvel Rivals likes to hate on Overwatch, pretending there's some sort of moral superiority, which is hilarious and totally wrong. And that the game is dead and roll queue killed it and it's garbage and it's for, it's just terribly imbalanced. And the irony is you 5v5 and 6v6 gets dragged into this, even though Marvel Rivals 6v6 doesn't even closely resemble Overwatch 6v6 ever. There's no tank synergy. Like almost at all. Tanks are way harder to kill than they ever were in Overwatch at any time. Supports are way more heal body in many aspects, and it seems to be like a conscious design decision. There's incredible sustain, more immortalities, more big one-shot ultimates, but that's just not even a criticism from me. That's just how the game is, and everybody has access to those same tools, right? Now, whether you like that or not, that's subjective and that's your choice, but that shouldn't be something that we really compare between the two games. So like there's this constant and exhausting comparison, and it's not even the comparison that is exhausting. It's like, as I said, it's the spirit with which that comparison is being made, because it's really easy for me to not read YouTube comments, but when it's confronting from every single thing that I say, do, even in Twitch stream, it's hard to avoid. And the problem with that is it's difficult. It does poison my enjoyment of either game right now. Doesn't matter what choice I do. As my cat feeder goes off. It doesn't matter what choice I do. I'm making a wrong decision by somebody, which I can live with, but not when it's a lot harder to live with when that person is aggressively and personally antagonizing me. And not just me, other creators, and not just other creators, people playing the game, like you guys. And that's just not fair. And that's just not right. So I don't think this video is going to change anybody's opinion about that, but I do challenge you to tune that out as best as you can. You and me both. We're going to do our best to try and tune that kind of stuff out and enjoy either game or both games for what they are. So if you've made it this far in the video, there's a really important thing that I have to say is that I am going to be mixing both content moving forward. I'm going to be doing Marvel Rivals, going to be doing Overwatch. I'm going to do Marvel Rivals because I want to. I enjoy the game. I find myself thinking about the strategy. I don't enjoy playing as many heroes as I do with Overwatch, certainly, and I don't think it, at least right now, has the same level of strategic depth as Overwatch, but it's a new problem, and that's really all it is for me. A new problem is like, hey, Marvel Rivals may not have the same ceiling just yet, but I still haven't cracked it, so let's give it a shot. And I do enjoy playing some heroes. I have enjoyed the pro analysis I've done. I've enjoyed thinking about the hero and game design and things that they could be doing better. You guys know me. That's just my cup of tea. I love that stuff. So expect more of that from me moving forward. But I do think that because many of you guys have been with me from the get-go, even back in Overwatch, I want to ask you, what do you think I could be doing better? And so because of that, I have set up a poll. I'm going to have it in the description and in the comments where you can vote on what you think you'd like to see more from both my YouTube and my Twitch streams. Maybe getting into YouTube streaming, co-streaming in the future. But do you want to see Marvel coaching? Do you want to see Marvel analysis? Do you want to continue to see Overwatch pro analysis? Do you want to see tips and tricks? Maybe game design, game macro? Do you want to see Marvel Rivals gameplay? Is there anything that in my stream or in my YouTube channel you think we could be doing better that you'd like to see more of? I want to open up that to you. and to let you guys help me decide, because ultimately the larger community I'm not as concerned about, but if you are here, your opinion matters more than the larger community. And to motivate that, we are going to be doing a giveaway, a coaching giveaway. I'll have more details on that in the description. But yeah, if you enter this poll, there is a chance for you able to get some free coaching from me on Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. So I want to make sure that I'm compensating you guys, at least in a very, very small part, to a few of you guys, to give you guys some sort of motivation to fill that out, because I do think when I've done these in the past, I've done a few of them, it's really helped me to improve my channel. So long story short, as the last remaining, being so melodramatic, Overwatch content creator, and because I want to, and as somebody that's moving into the Marvel Rivals scene because I want to, because I like that game, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see?